everyone, my name is Kate and I work at the Centennial Park Branch Library. Welcome to the tutorial for making the center circle of the Huichoi flowers. Here I have two of the Huichoi flowers. I have the small and the large, and what I'll be showing you in this tutorial is how to make this center circle of yellow beads. For both the small and the large flowers, that center circle is made in the same way and with the same number of beads. We're going to use 12 beads for our center circle. All right, so let me show you the materials you will need. You'll need your beeswax for conditioning your thread. I have the Nymo thread here, size D. We'll need your needle. This is a big eye needle, and it's called a big eye needle because the whole middle of the needle is the eye, so it's easy to thread. And you will need your scissors for trimming the thread ends. And last but never least are the beads. These are seed beads from the Czech Republic. This is size 11. And these size 11 Czech seed beads are the traditional bead that the Huichoi people use to make their beadwork. So on the left here I have my light blue color, I have yellow in the center, and I have the medium blue on the right. And I have separated the two colors of beads purposefully so that these two colors, these two blues that are pretty close in color, stay separate. One of the things that the Huichoi people do with their beadwork is they use a lot of color gradations. And it just adds to the beauty of their beadwork. It adds a realistic look and just makes things more beautiful. So I wanted to repeat that, and so these two bead colors of blue are pretty close, and the yellow keeps them nice and separate. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to stretch our thread. So grab both ends of your thread and firmly but gently give it several tugs. And the reason we need to do this is so that it's already pre-stretched. So when we add the weight of the glass beads, it's not going to stretch out the beadwork. It's kind of like pre-washing your clothes or your jeans especially. All right, then we're going to wax the thread. So I'm just going to lay the thread over the, kind of press it into the wax, and then I'm just going to pull the thread through the wax. Pretty simple. But this is a really important step. This keeps the thread from fraying when we're working with it, because this is pretty fine thread. And it also conditions the thread so that it lasts a long time, especially with how dry it is here in Colorado. The thread gets real dried out, it becomes really brittle, and it doesn't work very well. Okay, we're ready to start beading. So I'm going to pick up 12 of the size 11 yellow beads. And it's always a good idea to double check. This is the kind of a crucial step in making the flowers. None of the petals will sit right if you don't have enough beads or you have too many beads. So it looks like I did okay. So I'm going to go ahead and slide our yellow beads down to the end of the thread. And the end of the thread I'm going to leave 6 inches. That's called the tail thread. And I'm going to leave about 6 inches. You need to leave that much thread at the end so that you have enough to work with when you go to secure that thread back into the beadwork. Okay, now we're going to go run our needle and thread through the 12 yellow beads again to make a circle. When I do that, I like to lay my thread down and kind of pull on it to create a little bit of tension. It just makes it easier to go through them again. All right, now for this step, we're going to pull, we're going to put these yellow beads back on the thread, and you want to hang on to this tail end. If you don't hang on to that tail end, you can pull your beads right off the thread. So there's my circle, or my beginning circle. We're just going to keep pulling this tighter until we get a circle. Just kind of pull the threads and make a circle. All right. So this is my tail end of the thread here. This is my 6 inches of tail thread. And then this is my working end of the thread. And so now the last step of making this center circle, we're going to go back through the first bead, the first yellow bead that we added for a third time. And that's going to pull this circle tight. So the first bead that you added is the bead that has the tail end of the thread coming out of it. So we're just going to go back through that first bead added, pull our thread through, and then you can see that both ends of the thread, the tail end and the working end, are coming out of that same first bead added. And when you pull on them in opposite directions, it tightens up that circle. So there we have our center circle for our Huichoi flowers.